Yeah.
and I'll have to remember that.
Well, yeah, no, I think sometimes if you don't have it as part of, you got to upload the last version of Chrome or whatever for
Yeah.
it to work and kind of go from there.
All right. Oh, we're live, Coach. Hey, everyone! Welcome to the Really Charlie podcast. And my name is Charlie Perry. My guest today is Coach Rob Delaleu, head coach of the boys basketball team at Greater New Bedford Vocational High School. And I'm very, very happy to have him on here. And we're going to talk to him in a few minutes. I'm just going to pay the bills with some advertisement, if you don't mind, and then we'll get right into the advertisement. I mean, right into the podcast. Yeah. So, all right.
Thank you for choosing Dial-A-Mower. We offer a variety of services, ranging from basic lawn care to property cleanups. Please give us a call for your free estimate. The number here is 774-634-6200. We look forward to working with you and keeping your property looking amazing.
Right. All right, everyone. That was today's episode is sponsored by Dial Mower, a local lawn care service that specializes in property cleanups, hedge trimming, mulch, bed installations, and mowing services. They have been in serving the New Bedford community and surrounding areas since 2015. When quality service matters, you call the professionals at Dial a Mower. Their number is 774 6200. That is 774 6200. All right. All right, Coach. Let's get down to business. First of all, I'm proud of you. Very, very proud of you. Your resume speaks for itself. Um, and but I really, really want to commend you on your teaching job and the teaching that you have done over the years at New Bedford Voc. And I was very happy that I knew that my daughter was going to a quality teacher in you, and that I didn't have to worry about nothing. I know she's gonna have to deal with you, and well, the old days I would allowed you to give her a spanking, man. So, but so I'm excited about your new gig, and I hope you are because they need you. They need you, and that's no disrespect to the other coaches that were there. I'm just saying that I know what you bring to the table, and I can't wait to see it in action.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I'm excited to start this new journey. When I semi-retired a couple of years ago from Bristol basketball, I didn't expect to get back into the game so soon. But it was just one of those scenarios where it was just the opportunity was there. And and although I'm really busy with stuff I do at Bristol and also with school, I just know that I love being part of the community, giving back to the community. And it just was an opportunity that I just had to go for. And I'm fortunate to be chosen as the next head coach there. I don't know if there's have been a lineage of various coaches that I've known that have been there. Not many coaches of color, so it's good to kind of be a coach of color who's in this position as well, and really kind of giving back to the community. And I hopefully we will really start developing a culture of winning and an attitude that we belong. And in '96 we hung the only banner in Voc history, the team that I had, and I think an underrated team that you don't hear much about. The only time that's ever happened in Voc history, and I like to contribute and now do it as a player, and then maybe bring one as a coach as well.
Awesome, that's great news. Great, great. I mean, I just like when I went to New Bedford High School for a year and a half, so that's the school I graduated from. Um, I tried to go to Voc at an early age, when I came back, but was something I couldn't do. I couldn't go into the school as a junior. Just there's too much work to be done from freshman to senior year. There's no way I would have been allowed to transfer into Voc. So I was coming from out of state. So the but I'm always rooting for Voc. And when I grew up, and my mom was going to the older Voc, and so it's always been in my family. And so I'm always rooting for you guys to do the right thing, and hiring you is the right thing.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So, I've been getting invites, people saying, get Rob on it, get Rob on it. It was before your job, and I was like, yeah, I got to get him on it. Got to get him on here, and I thought I had your number in my phone. I'm looking for it, can't find it. I said, well, I always got your number one fan's number in my phone. I said, I'll just call her, and then she'll get in touch with you. So,
Yes, absolutely.
But Stevie Lopes did the wonders, and I'm proud of another childhood friend of mine. I'm glad he's doing his thing at Voc also. So, hopefully he can help you out, volunteer and help you out, because that is another basketball mind, and giving him. Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, I love the giving back, and I think that's extremely important, right? So it's building a community of individuals who want to give back and really influence our surrounding area, and really be part of building something, and really having a lineage where our kids are proud. We bring back that school pride. We bring that pride of New Bedford. Obviously, we also, New Bedford is a regional school, so Dartmouth and Fairhaven as well. But really bringing that family attitude back. I think sometimes our world is just so busy now that we forget about that. You go to the high school games, whether New Bedford or Voc or any of the high school games. When I was coaching at Bristol, just going into high school as a coach for recruiting, the games just weren't the same. Weren't packed. It wasn't, and I want to bring that attitude and that pride back, and fill the gyms, and have people really be excited about our teams, and really build community. So hopefully we can get there. And individuals like Steve and others that are in the community, I welcome anyone to reach out to me if they want to give back. Let's figure out ways that we all can contribute and make that happen.
Yes, good. You played when you were coaching at BCC. You were using the Bishop Conley High School gymnasium. I coached there 2 years, and that's a great shooting gym. I'm pretty sure you guys had good games there. I went to a couple of them, but there's one thing about Bishop Conley. I like that gym. It's a little small, but it's still a good shooting gym.
The problem with a shooting gym is that the other team could shoot well on the gym too. So we had some nights where other teams couldn't miss. Luckily at Bristol, we were fortunate to have some pretty good teams. You know what I mean? So we were able to get through and build a program that went to national prominence. And we were up, my last year, we were number 3 in the country. And so that was exciting. And a lot of our guys were All-Americans and stuff. So we got through it. But yeah, when other teams came in, they were pretty, when they were on because it is a shooter's gym. So.
Yeah. So 2015 and 2018, you were coach of the year.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's an accomplishment in itself. When you start thinking about the lower division of college basketball coaches out there, and it's quite a bit. The numbers are huge, and for you to get nominated, that's a hats off to you. And
yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things. I don't do it for my own personal accolades, but to receive that, it's voted by other coaches, so you get the respect by the other coaches of seeing how well our program has done. And then you get to a point where you're winning and they don't give it to you because your team is consistently there, and that's even a greater feat, and you like that. Usually, sometimes, like the first one we got was because we kind of changed the narrative, and we came. Then after that, you don't get them as often because you're expected to be on top. So it's great for that to happen, and it's and it's an honor to be nominated by your peers.
That's good. Damon, the man that says, so proud of this gentleman, and congratulations on your new position. Rob is a shining example of what hard work and dedication can lead to. Salute, brother. It's so
Thank
true.
you.
I gotta agree.
That's
You know,
David and my brothers right there. Absolutely.
yeah, definitely. Um, he's a good supporter of the Really Charlie podcast, and I'm always glad to see his comments on the side over here. The So what's the first step? For the first well, it's obvious tryouts. You start tryouts after the football season. Um, but as far as your staff, you have to stick with the same staff that's at the school already. How's that work out?
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of different steps. One is really understanding the schedule. One thing I would like to do is establish. Voc has traditionally played a lot of some similar schools over the years. I'm looking to kind of maybe change that a little bit. Obviously, we have to play our conference games. Looking to develop some other, games that we can do to really excite the kids to play. Maybe some schools outside the area, maybe some Division I schools. Um, Teams that are going to be a little bit tougher for us to go against, which is fine for me. But I think it builds character, builds toughness. We want competition. No matter what gym we step into, we expect to win. Like we want to, we don't want to win. We expect to win, and I think by putting ourselves in those type of scenarios is going to help. Um, on top of that, right now is really establishing a culture, getting to know the student athletes before tryouts. So beginning in September, going to have a conversation with all students who are interested in playing, let them know about who I am. I'm going to be very transparent with the students and with the parents. Sometimes I think there is that, a lot of times parents don't really understand the process. So I want to make sure that everyone is clear. I'm very clear about, what academics mean. I'm very clear about what it means to play, and establishing a culture. We want to, again, myself, and I expect that my staff and people who will be coming in and out of that gym have had college experience, great high school players. I have a lot of friends that just was over Marcus Houtman's house for his birthday just to say hello, and their family and their basketball family, and individuals like that will always be around. Plus players who played for me, players who I played with at the collegiate level, and then former players at Voc as well. I want to see them back in the gym and coming around and coming to games or dropping by a practice and stuff. So really want to kind of get that energy and that excitement there. The other piece that we will, that I'm going to do in establishing that is really start that conversation with a lot of student athletes, but really have them again, like I said, talking to the parents and having them have some transparency on what to expect. And I think that's huge when it comes to it sometimes. So that way there's no confusion. They understand that if their son is working hard, that they'll be part of the team, but it doesn't guarantee you're supposed to work hard, and that's what you're supposed to do. It doesn't guarantee minutes. Minutes is, there's a litany of things that can kind of play into it. But being part of the program, establishing that, I think also freshmen, I'm going to really focus on our freshman team and JV teams to really, so that way I'm not leaving them alone, that they have an understanding. So there'll be some practices where I'm speaking to them and also helping coach and seeing what they are, so that way they understand and what to expect. So we're building a program from the ground up, and they're getting they have my attention as well. I won't ignore them. As far as my staff is concerned, right now I do have one spot available that I will be posting, and so looking for an individual for the JV level, and so I'll get that out hopefully within due time and stuff. So we still got to kind of write out the job description, meet with the athletic director, and kind of go from there.
Good. Oh, there's no doubt you're going to pick the right person, and someone to ask to gel with you and the kids.
Absolutely.
Just can't put someone in there. That's it's got to be that gel. It's real important.
We have to have a good relationship and somebody that I can trust, that if I'm, doing something, that I can leave the team to that individual to focus on something. If I'm, scouting, if we're doing something like that, someone that I can trust to give me the right information. Knowing when to, again, I think that you have to have that great balance of understanding, being an assistant is tough. I don't want someone that's just, I don't want someone who's just quiet. Want somebody that's going to be able to speak up when need to, but understanding that, that it's a team effort, that they can't over drown the coach's voice. I mean,
Yes.
making sure that we all have a voice, but knowing when to hold them, when to fold them, kind of
That's right.
mindset. So I'm expecting, and a good applicant pool. There's a lot of individuals who've already reached out, and I'm really excited about that. It helps us build the team and build the program, and this person will be vital to that.
Good. I'll definitely be there for game one and many games after that for you, just to support the school in itself and you. So I'll definitely be there. And it's one thing, I got a basketball family, so we like watching the game no matter what level it is. We're going to watch it. And it's gonna be nice to see your team develop to yeah. So the you've been kind of busy, people have been reaching out to you trying to get different interviews.
Yeah.
So I know you'll be on one of my other favorite podcasts tomorrow, and
Yes.
I'll view it again. Just because the podcast thing is something that I latched onto during the pandemic, and it's something that I always wanted to do through possibly even go to New Bedford Guide, and I did a couple of shows there, and but the podcast thing is something that's real nice, and I want to also give you the opportunity at any time you're doing some kind of event, fundraising for the basketball team, please let me know, and we can kind of introduce it to the community. And I mean, my numbers ain't up there as I want them, but they are a good following here, especially in the local area. So it would be nice to have local people like you on here and trying to help out the kids with their fundraising and try to make the program much better.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of the things that we're doing, so we, trying to look at revamping our basketball camps and coaches clinics. One idea is to really have the camps going, not to compete with the other camps, with New Bedford High and Brian's Lit Camp, and those are great camps. And so we're not there to compete. We just will be in addition to those things that are happening for the area. Looking to develop scholarships for kids that can't afford to go to camp, and something that we're looking to do. Also looking to raise money for our program as well, to kind of really maybe be able to do some things with our student athletes that maybe we have not been able to do in the past. Looking to do some coaching clinics that I'm developing. I have some clinics that are pretty cool that are for our youth coaches to help teach our younger generation of student athletes and how they can become coaches, because a lot of coaches are volunteers. They watch the game, they love the game, but they just never been a coach before. And, it's hard for them to process. They might be a parent who's just filling in. I know one time, I know football, but then when you have the coach football, it's a different thing. And my son's team didn't have a coach. And next thing you know, I'm the head coach of a football team. And I'm like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, I know how to be a leader, but I don't know some of the nuances, right? So, and so just having that feeling, like I don't want others to have that. So I want to develop some things to really help out our local area and really like kind of build that community where individuals can kind of reach out and say, hey, what do I do here in this scenario? Not just about the X's and O's, but also about how to relate to our students, how to understand how to be a leader, and the difference, the nuances in doing that is pretty intricate at times, that sometimes you don't even realize it as a coach. You love a sport and you go start teaching it, and then you realize, like, what is all this happening right now? I got this attitude, or I got this person not working hard, I got this this parent interfering, or I got all these different things happening. How do I bottle all this up and create a better atmosphere for our student, or our athlete, or if they're in little league or whatever. So hopefully we're able to build some of that continuity and put that out there. And so I'm excited about doing that as well. I also do a lot of my role at Bristol Community College. I'm director of multicultural affairs. So I do a lot of community work within the social justice, diversity, inclusion, and equity work. So I have a lot of those, programs and things that we do for the community as well. And I think this is a good way to kind of really kind of mix the two, right? Whereas I'm really doing a lot of this community work anyway. And I think, sports is another way to kind of really bring people together and build community and develop some of those things. So I'm going to see a lot of different intersections that we can kind of really build on and hopefully go from there. So I'm excited about it. And, I want the New Bedford area to really to embrace it and really like kind of see it for what it is and really truly give back to our kids,
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a lot on the agenda, and I know you're going to accomplish it. And only because you've been doing it. And to go back a little bit on the camps, more camps the merrier. That means that young kids are out there doing something constructive, and whether it's at this camp this week and then New Bedford Voc camp the following week, that's good. That's 2 weeks that they're doing something constructive, and it's also helping them with a lot of things, their game, building friendships in different areas of the city. And so I'm all for that.
Yeah.
And that's why I like to try to support everybody that's doing something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be in competition looking at us to really rise up. And if we're going to rise up as a community, we all have to really understand that this is not a competition against one another. We're all in this together. And how we can help these young children that are in our area, our next generation, is really for us to unify and lead the way. So I'm excited about that. And like I said, it's, I'll promote everything that's going on. I'm not going to detract from it,
Mm-hmm. So true. All right. Let's see. I know that coaching is sometimes, I can't say thankless, but sometimes the praises don't come, and you're not the type of guy that's going to look for it. Main thing is you want your student athlete to be there, not be there, but you want that student athlete to have a mentor in place, and that comes with you. And so and that's what I looked at as a coach. I definitely wanted to make sure that kid had that student athlete had someone to go to. And I also try to pay attention just as I would with what any of my kids are. Try to pay attention with a student athlete as part of my family. Because there's so many kids out there that you should. I mean, I'm pretty you see it, but I see it on social media. They have so much conversations, and the only outlet they have is social media. And every now and then, it's nice that if they can kind of sit in the bleachers and talk with the coach for a few, and say, "Hey, coach, this is what's going on with me," and and it might lead to another time that they can sit down on the bleachers and say, "Coach, can I talk to you one more time?" It'll keep you busy, kind of make you late for dinner, but hey, got to do that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I've been many of times that have happened. I mean, coaching at Bristol, it wasn't the easiest, right? Because we had to share a gym. And so, our practice might be over or a game might be over at 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And I've had conversation with student athletes and way beyond that right after, because they had something on their mind. And that's the one thing about coaching that I think, people don't see is that piece, is that mentoring piece. And if, giving back and having that conversation, that side conversation is so vital and important to the success of your program, and being willing to do that. It's being open and having that relationship. I'm proud of all of my former players and their accomplishments. But what is so unique is so many of them still to this day. And, I've coached, hundreds of kids and mentored, many more, and we still communicate regularly. Like I just, it might not be every day, but it'll just be a checking in. Hey, love you, coach. Hey, have a second.
Sure.
These type of things are just great. And like that stuff makes me feel good. And it's every day someone new. So it's like So one day I'm talking to one student athlete from my team in 2008, and the next day I'm talking to someone from the team in 2017. To, it's just like, wow, like, I mean, and you don't realize like the impact sometimes, because again, it's like you said, sometimes you think it's thankless, but when they come to you and they have that, they tell you that thanks, or they just check in on you, that the love is there. Sometimes you don't have to blatantly say it and be out there, but for them to just check in, it means a lot. And it's, and it's reciprocal. Like I reach out to my guys all the time, see how they're doing, just say hello. Social media has allowed us to kind of keep connection too, because some of them, again, sometimes you see things that they're doing and you chime in, and so it just, again, that's what it is: building family, building love, building connection. The reason why I got into coaching is that that's that thing. I didn't have that relationship with coaches that I've played with to kind of like call and reach out and say, hey, like, how you doing? I mean, it's just, I felt like it was just all about the X's and O's and the wins and losses. It wasn't really about the real connection. And some of them tried, but maybe I think just from us having different lenses and being from different eras or different areas, it didn't vibe well. And kind of was one of those things, like what got me motivated to start coaching is I wanted to start developing and be an outlet for, student athletes like myself who needed somebody to be there for them while they're going through their journey.
Awesome. I hope, I know you're a good family man. You're doing a lot of good things. And I want to say that the one thing I like about you is that, believe it or not, you would make a good police officer. You would have made a great police officer.
It crossed my mind once.
Yeah, you would have. You definitely would have.
Yeah.
And and that's what it is. Sometimes coaching, you got to police some things, And do you? Let me ask you one last question. Every school and every administration has rules and regulations about social media, and this particular student athlete, that's all they have. And so when it comes to being a coach, teacher, / you got to draw the line on how you communicate with people, student athletes. And I find that, with some stories throughout the country, there's some people kind of cross the line, and I know you're aware of it. You're going to be on top of it, but that training needs to. When you talked about, coaching seminars and coaching network classrooms and stuff like that, that's one of the key things that I'd like to have people stress, as far as those things, because it's very, very important. Because if one coach gets in trouble or one teacher gets in trouble, you all get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a reflection on the school, on the institution. So, I just, that's one thing that's real important that I always try to stress it, and kind of draw the line,
Yeah. I think once you look at it, sometimes people look at, right now, the way social media is designed, there's a lot of the algorithms they use is to kind of really keep people in pockets. So I could see a student or student or non-student look at something, sees a story or whatever, and it leads you to this story, which leads you to this and leads you to that. And then now all of a sudden you're in the middle of some type of controversy or conversation that it's either you're passionate about or not passionate, whatever the case may be. You might think of it differently. You might be on the right side, left side. And you've seen that happen, right? So, teachers get fired because of how they responded to a protest or how they responded to specific things. And then you've seen other people get in trouble because of, maybe, things they're watching are inappropriate, or they utilize the Twitter or Instagram or Snapchat in a negative way towards, another student or something. So it's something that absolutely will make sure that we follow. I think it's important that we have a policy and that our students follow it. and stay within the guidelines, because again, kids will be kids, but now you're reporting the things, and now people can, screenshot what you're doing, and then it becomes an issue, right? So hopefully we don't have to deal with anything like that, and our student athletes are, open enough to realize that, oh, this is probably, don't do this, don't record this. You've even seen it where students get into an argument or a fight, and people recording things, and now it's on your phone, like. So, hopefully our students will make sure that they are positive, that they are not getting themselves into something that they shouldn't be. It'll be something that we will express and make sure that our student athletes know. My policies will be strict. If they do break them, then they don't play, or they could be removed from the team. Hopefully that doesn't happen, and it's not those type of learning lessons. I'd rather, not deal with that. But again, sometimes, you have to do what you have to do as a coach. But, I'm pretty sure I'll set the bar and the tone early, so they know what, again, that transparency of what is acceptable and what's not at this level.
True. Well, Coach, I got a little over 30 minutes, and I know your time's valuable, but I also want to invite you to the Really Charlie podcast at any point, any time whatsoever. It doesn't matter if it's last second, just call me, message me, whatever, and we'll do something real quick. Even if you're one of your student athletes are kind of doing something good in the neighborhood, in the community, like to put, give them some flowers, I definitely do that for you and the school in general. So, but who would you like to see on a Really Charlie podcast?
Oh man, who I like to see? There's a ton of individuals who've done really well. There's a lot of different coaches. So like from my former roommate and good friend, like Dwayne Pina. I don't know if you had Dwayne before, and I think he's doing some great.
Oh, yes. I'm very proud of him. Proud of him. So proud of him.
He's doing extremely well. Some of our former athletes in the area who've done some great things and moved on to do some good things might be another way of going. There's also stories that are pretty positive that I think are great for our youth as well. And again, I've worked with, at Bristol, I worked with a lot of New Bedford students, and there are some students that didn't play for me that I still work with that are extremely successful and doing well, and they've gotten through. So that some of them that I can forward your way as well. I won't throw their names out there now because I'm not comfortable with it. But there's some that there were some stories you're like, wow, like they weren't really in the mix of saying school wasn't for them, but now where they are is just unbelievable. Bobby Bailey is another person who's not from the Bedford area, but he's from the Fall River area, but he's an individual who's doing great work with diversity in that area. So those are a lot of individuals to kind of like, bring to the podcast and really talk about diversity and equity and inclusion work. So that's pretty powerful to see some brothers like him doing so well. So there's a lot. I could think of a whole bunch of different type of people and topics. But so I'll definitely send some people your way.
Please do.
Yep.
I'm gonna kind of this podcast will be the last one for about 2 weeks, and then I'll pick it up again in September. Only just by personal choice, and I'm gonna pick up again where I have 2 or 3 a week. So, but please, any name, anything, just throw me a name, number, whatever. I'll reach out to them and find out how their schedule is. Most of my podcasts during the week is set up at this time, 7 p.m. Only because when I get out of work, I run around for an hour or so, and then come back home. So, 7 p.m. or later is great for me, and then all day during the weekend is good too.
Yeah, and there's some great people that I work with at Bristol Community College that do a lot of community work with the TRIO programs. The Dean of New Bedford, Shanna Howell, is a powerful. She's a doctor, and
great.
Yeah, so we got some great people that we can bring into the area and really talk about education and how it can benefit our students and in our local area. So I have a lot of networks and connections there too. So I will definitely get you in touch with them.
please do. And then I'll, like I said, September 1st, I'll be writing up another schedule for the month of September and October. And I gladly like to get those people involved in the Really Charlie podcast, because it's about community first, and giving flowers to the people while they're standing, and that's what I try to do. But I want to say good luck. I'm always in your corner, no matter what. I'm a friend to the end, and you need me, you give me a holler.
No, I appreciate you, and thank you for what you're doing. And this is really important for our community, and keep doing it. It's needed, and I think the more positive that we are, and the more that we support one another, the better that we can make the Bedford area and the region around it. So please, always utilize me, and thank you for everything. And you've helped me out when I was a kid, younger as well. So I'd never forget those things. So if you need anything, just reach out.
Same here. I'll see you whenever.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep following whatever you're doing, and you'll see me popping in from time to time. And I'll be quiet in the bleachers. All right, Coach.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Take care.
All right, have a good one.
You too. Have a good night. All right, Coach Rob Delaleu, one of the diamonds in the area. Very, very proud of that young man. And he's a man. He's a grown man doing his thing, and I'm very proud of him. I'm glad he came on the podcast, and support the Greater New Bedford Regional Vocational High School, and they're definitely doing some great things here. New administration, new head coach, some new teachers and the faculty and the staff rather. So they're doing some great things, and as always, they have great students there, and so I can't wait to see what he does. He's definitely a leader. He's a leader, and I hope that men, women, students, everybody follows his lead, because he's doing good. He's going to continue to do well. All right, I'm going to conclude with let's see here, with some advertisement. And let's see here. As always, I try to support our local people, professionals. I try to support them as much as I can, which leads to a man that's doing well in the real estate business. Let's see, let's get this going here. Valdir Korea is doing well in real estate, and so if you're looking to buy or sell your home, look this guy up. If you're looking to buying a new home or selling your home, please go see Legacy Realty Group, Remax Vantage, and speak to Valdir Baptista Korea, real estate agent at 508-441-1628. His email is valdirkorearealtor@gmail.com. His motto is, your perfect home is out there. I can help you find it. That's Valdir Korea at 508-441-1628. You can buy a home or you can sell the one you have. But see this guy. Like he says, your perfect home is out there. I can help you find it. All right. Everyone, thank you. Thank you for sharing your comments. I really, really appreciate all the different comments here. Constant supporters in the comment section. I'm glad to see you. And as always, God bless. Stay blessed and be well. If you need me, you know where I'm at. Take care, everyone. I'll see you in a couple of weeks on the Really Charlie podcast, brought to you through StreamYard, Anchor, Spotify, Facebook, and YouTube. Please subscribe to the Really Charlie YouTube channel so you can get notified of the future guests that are coming on. But that's Really Charlie on YouTube. Take care, everyone. Have a great night.